Okay, we're up here in Williamsville, and the customer's having issues right around just on this side of that window with water coming in. Not all the time, but they had enough to where it came down and disturbed their first floor ceiling and came into their kitchen vent. There's a couple different problems here. The house does not have an overhang on it, so therefore it's never been able to vent properly. Some of these windows that are flashed, they're another issue. You can see like the way the corners not flashed there. The bottom sill of the window looks like it's to be rotted right out. So this aluminum trim that's at the bottom that we see should have gone up underneath that vinyl replacement window, and it never did. So that's one problem leading into the lower floor. It's a problem, but it's not the major problem. The major problem is this. You see all the dampness on these shingles now on this bottom edge? I took a couple of snapshots with my pitch finder, which is an app. There's an app for that, believe it or not. So right there where the first, right between the dry spot and that wet spot is almost directly above their closet area, where their overflow is. And what's happening is you got about a 3.5 to 412 pitch coming down this roof. But these last courses of shingles are leveled right off. That's why these are so damp right now. The water actually isn't getting off. It's finding its way back underneath the seam of the shingle, underneath and behind the ice shields and felts, underneath the aluminum trim, and into the wall plates of the house. And the proof of that, or the evidence of that, is all of this. You can see all this blackness in here. That's water that's water that's been coming in behind the siding, coming from the roof. So it's rotting right out. The upper roof is going to have to be addressed. The shingles are too brittle to be able to lift up and work with. So the minimum step that they'd be able to do is the rear roof. And what happens is, when the fascia board is installed, when they frame these houses in a lot of cases, what they'll do is they run their rafter tails, and then they put their fascia board in, and then they bring the plywood down, or they stop their plywood at the end of the rafter tails and put their fascia board up above the rafter tail. Therefore, that causes that bottom layer, or that bottom course of shingles, to level right out. So that's where the problem started. You can see a real black spot that's right there by the electric wire. Okay, that's overflow too, but also underneath it is water that's been coming in there. So now they got like this particular window here that is on the apron. This has got aluminum sill. They went ahead and put a sill extension. The caulking's breaking down, but the wood isn't getting addressed or getting wet. But over on this one here, that's on this other apron, I don't want to walk out there. That you can see the wood is punked out. So we may have to do some woodwork there. You can even see where the caulking is, right in the corner there, right in the very corner of the window. I bet you I can put my finger right through that. It looks like it's pudding right now. So we may have to address these last two windows, these two windows on this lower, and look at the roof on the upper. Now there's an electrical wire that comes in through here. It looks like it's for his power source here. Within the scheme of the overhang construction, I want to recommend we can take this wire and bury up in the overhang and make it safe and secure, and give them back their spotlight. And then of course, obviously, because of this guy here, he should helmet these, because these gutters are filled with leaves, and he probably couldn't clean them out enough. We've got the neighbor's trees, and probably this big one is the biggest culprit here. And we've got a couple of helmet jobs around this area. We're looking at the possibility of helmet heat, but I think if he does the helmet with these overhang extensions and these gutters, I think that's going to solve this problem. We can get the airflow to go up into that, up into the attic. That gives us the opportunity to do that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to figure out retrimming the windows, replacing the bottom sill of the windows, not on the inside. What we can do is we can take these vinyls out and actually take out that bad wood and trim it out, put the new trim in, so the new windows actually diverting water out onto the siding. And then look at the upper roof and give them an option to do the complete roof also. So this gutter, the way this is, actually this downspout should be able, I'm going to check to see what this downspout, if this goes into a drain tile, this lower one, And what we'd like to do is take and change. There's a 3x4 spout, and it does go into a drain tile. I'd like to get all the water to deliver here and make sure this opening is big enough, because right now that opening isn't big enough. So this could be a 2x3 downspout instead of a 3x4, and then put and keep the 3x4 down there, and take this up, have all this upper roof coming this way, and alleviate this monstrosity that's going on here. Okay, I gotta do some figuring.